Have you ever been sitting on your couch, perhaps lost in a book or scrolling through your phone, when your cat approaches you, stops for a moment, and then firmly but gently places a single paw on your arm or your leg? It's a quiet, soft moment that usually makes us smile, and we often laugh it off, calling it a cuddle or a handshake, and we move on with our day thinking it's just a cute little quirk or a simple request for a scratch behind the ears. But in the quiet world of your cat, that single movement, that tiny soft weight of a paw, is one of the most emotionally loaded things they will ever do. It is a language older than words, a biological signal that carries messages about trust, survival, and a level of belonging that most of us never fully realize we've been invited into. When your cat puts their paw on you, they aren't just being affectionate, they are performing an ancient ritual of ownership, safety, and a calculated emotional risk that goes against every survival instinct they have. To understand why they do this, we have to look at the world the way a cat does. For us, the world is defined by what we see, crisp edges and bright colors. But for your cat, anything closer than 10 inches is actually a blur. And every time you lean in for a close moment, your face is nothing but a soft, fuzzy shape to them. Instead, they navigate their life through a complex, invisible map of scents and chemical signals that we can't even begin to perceive. Your cat doesn't see you as an owner or a master. They see you as a really big, slightly clumsy cat who somehow ended up in their colony. In their mind, you are equal, and that might be the biggest compliment they could ever give you. When they reach out to touch you with their paw, they're trying to tell you something that their meows and purrs simply cannot express. The polite request, a language without meowing. One of the first things you need to understand is that the paw touch is a form of communication that is polite, controlled, and shockingly intentional. While we often think of cats as needy when they meow, the truth is that meowing is a behavior adult cats almost exclusively developed just for humans. In the wild, adult cats rarely meow at each other. It is a sound they bring back from kittenhood because they realized we are deaf to their subtle body language and scent signals. Your cat figured out very early on that you don't read tail signals or slow blinks correctly, so they adapted and brought back the one sound they used as a baby to get your attention. But the paw touch is different. It is a low-pressure signal borrowed from how cats interact with other cats. When your cat gently taps you, they are saying, "I'm here, I need something, but I'm not demanding it." Unlike a dog that might whine or bark to get what they want, a cat uses the paw to be subtle and respectful of your space. If your cat chooses to use their paw instead of meowing nonstop or knocking things off the counter, it actually means they trust you to respond without them having to escalate their behavior. They believe in the bond enough to know that a whisper is just as effective as a shout. This gentle tap is a sign of a deep, secure attachment where they feel confident that their softest reach for connection will be heard. The second layer to this behavior is far more primal and territorial. Have you ever wondered why your cat doesn't just rub against you, but specifically chooses to press their paw into your skin? It is because your cat has scent glands located right in their paw pads. When they press that paw against your skin, your arm, or your face, they are performing a tiny ritual of ownership. This is territorial behavior, but not in an aggressive sense. Your cat is saying, "This human belongs to me." They are leaving invisible chemical signals on you that tell every other animal and even every other cat that you are part of their inner circle. In cat language, scent mixing is one of the highest forms of social bonding, and by embedding their scent into your skin, they are merging their identity with yours. They are telling themselves and the world, "This spot is yours, but you are mine." This is also why your cat might seem extra persistent with their paws after you've been outside or around other animals. You came home smelling wrong, picking up unfamiliar scents from the outside world. To your cat, you've lost the communal scent that identifies you as family, and that immediate paw touch is their way of reclaiming you and restoring the chemical signature of safety. The wellness check. Are you still breathing?
Sometimes the message behind the paw is much more literal and rooted in ancient survival instincts. Have you ever been napping on the couch and suddenly felt a paw pressing into your face or your chest? It feels like they're being annoying or demanding breakfast, but they might actually be performing a wellness check. Cats are more sensitive to heart rate, breathing, and body condition than we realize. When you're asleep or completely still for a long time, your heart rate slows and your breathing deepens, and to a cat, this shift is noticeable and sometimes unsettling. That gentle paw on your face or chest is actually their way of confirming you are still responsive, still breathing, and still okay. In the wild, cats live in small social groups where monitoring each other keeps everyone safe, and if something is wrong, they need to know immediately. Behaviorists who study these interactions have documented cases where cats persistently paw at their owners before a medical episode, sensing something was off before the person did even. So, the next time your cat rudely wakes you up with a paw to the nose, take a breath before you get frustrated. In their own quiet way, they were worried about you, and that little tap was their way of making sure you were still there. The request to stay, reading your micro-movements. One of the most fascinating reasons for the paw touch is that your cat is trying to stop you from leaving them. Have you ever noticed your cat putting their paw on you right before you were about to get up, almost like they knew what you were going to do before you did it? That is because they did. Cats are incredible readers of body language, and they study your micro-movements all day long. They pick up on the way you shift your weight, the subtle tension in your legs before you stand, or the change in your breathing when you're about to move. To your cat, these are a countdown to you leaving the room. By placing their paw on you in that moment, they are making a quiet request: stay. This isn't neediness or clinginess. It is one of the purest forms of connection your cat can show. Cats are notoriously independent and often hide their vulnerability. So when a cat actively asks you not to go, even in this silent way, it means they have learned your patterns and decided that your presence is their most valuable resource. They are choosing your company over their own desire for solitude, which is a massive statement of affection in the feline world. The childhood connection, a memory of safety. To understand the emotional root of the paw, we have to go back to the very beginning of your cat's life. When your cat was a tiny kitten, still blind and helpless, they relied completely on their mother for survival. One of the first things they learned to do was push their paws against her while nursing. This motion, which we call kneading or making biscuits, helped stimulate milk flow, but it also created a deep sense of comfort and safety. While most cats outgrow the need for milk, they never outgrow the emotional association that comes with that pressing motion. It becomes hardwired as a self-soothing behavior that signals a complete lack of fear. When your adult cat places their paw on you, they are tapping into that same ancient feeling of being protected and loved. You have become what their mother once was, a source of absolute safety where they can finally let their guard down. This is why some cats will put a paw on you and then immediately close their eyes or start to purr. The touch itself triggers a relaxation response in their nervous system. The ultimate risk, choosing trust over survival. Perhaps the most important message you are missing is the level of physical risk your cat is taking when they touch you. In the wild, a cat's survival depends on speed, balance, and the ability to launch in any direction at a moment's notice. Having all four paws firmly on the ground means they are ready for anything. But when your cat lifts one paw and rests it on you, they have just cut their escape options in half. They are telling you, I don't need to run, not with you. In the wild, being caught off guard with only 3 paws grounded would be a death sentence, but your cat is choosing connection over their own survival instincts. This is the ultimate display of trust. They aren't doing it because it's cute. They are doing it because they have decided on a biological level that you are the safest place in their entire world. They are trusting you to watch their back and keep the territory secure while they offer you their vulnerability. How to respond to the message. Knowing that the paw touch comes from a deep instinct, how we respond matters more than we realize. Most of us immediately reach down to pet them or scoop them up for a cuddle, but for a cat, being picked up can feel like a loss of control and might trigger a stress response. If you force the contact when they were just offering a gentle tap, you might accidentally teach your cat that reaching out to you is risky. The best way to respond is to mirror their calm energy. Start with the finger handshake. Extend one finger a few inches from their nose and let them come to you to sniff and process your scent first. If they rub their cheek against your finger, you have your green light to continue. You can also offer a slow blink, the cat kiss. Research from the University of Sussex confirmed that returning this slow, deliberate blink lowers a cat's cortisol levels and confirms that you are not a threat. Another powerful way to respond is to use your cat voice. A 2022 study found that cats can distinguish their owner's voice and react most positively to short, soft, higher-pitched phrases. When your cat touches
in that
you,
gentle, warm tone, it acts as a vocal identity of safety that regulates their nervous system and tells them they are home. If you really want to unlock a deep maternal memory, you can even use a damp toothbrush to gently stroke their forehead, mimicking the sensation of a mother cat grooming her kittens. You are their entire world. At the end of the day, your cat doesn't see you as an owner or a master. They see you as a companion, a protector, and a fellow cat who makes their entire territory safe. When your cat puts their paw on you, they are giving you a front-row seat to their emotional state. They are telling you that you are their emotional anchor and their secure base. They don't need you to be perfect, and they don't need you to understand every single signal they send, but they do need you to be present and consistent. Your cat has synced their internal clock to your routine and even changed their biology just to spend more time existing in your world. That little paw on your arm is their way of saying that you are the one presence that tells their entire nervous system that everything is okay. It is a quiet, wordless love, but it is one of the most honest things you will ever experience. Our cats don't ask for much, but they notice when we listen. When you acknowledge that paw touch for what it really is, a ritual of trust and territory, you move from being just a pet owner to being the person your cat truly deserves. You become the one person who doesn't just provide food and shelter, but who provides the one thing their ancestors never had, a place where they can finally let their guard down and just be. If you learned something new about your cat's secret language today, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat parents who want to understand their furry family members on a deeper level. Until next time, keep watching those small signals. Your cat has a whole lifetime of stories to tell you if you only know how to listen.